Hello, I'm IBX Toycat, and welcome to Minecraft Console In Depth, which is a series where I break down specific parts of Minecraft, let you know all of the ways they work, all of the fun facts about them, and all the stats that should help you be better at, using them in general. And today we're going to be covering the beacon, as we come out Black One-Legged Steve one more time. He's actually got some bone coming out of that leg now, because it looked unfinished before. Basically the beacon is a new block which came in with Title Update 19, and it adds a lot of late-game replayability to the game, because where before, once you beat the Ender Dragon, the game was kind of done as far as survival is concerned. Now you've always got to be building these beacons, because just to craft this beacon block that's on top of the tower, you need to kill a wither each and every single time. So yeah, they're insanely difficult to do, and if you like this idea for a video, you like Minecraft Console In Depth, please do like the video and let me know. I haven't done Minecraft Console In Depth in a while, and support would be very much appreciated. So with that said, let's go straight into it, because you might be first of all wondering, wait a minute, how do beacons actually work? Why would you ever bother going through all that effort just for a big beam in the sky? So beacons provide an area of effect, like an area of effect, kind of spell on the area around them. The effective area, I guess you can call it, increases each and every single time you raise up the level. So this goes up even more and stuff. But basically, yeah, at level 1, you have access to 2 spells, speed and haste. So this means that when you're anywhere within 20 blocks of this beacon, or if you've been within 20 blocks of that beacon within the last 7 seconds or so, you'll actually be able to run faster. In this case, it's 20% faster. Or you'll be able to mine blocks faster, which is of course nice. So why are beacons so difficult to get again? Just one more time, why are they not something everyone always uses? So like I mentioned before, you need to kill a wither each and every single time you want one of these beacon blocks. On top of that, you need to then surround it by mineral blocks, and you can pick from one of these 4, so emeralds, diamonds, iron and gold. However, you need 9 of those for each individual block. So just for the smallest beacon, this is the weakest beacon that can only let you run faster or mine faster, you need 81 separate iron ingots, gold ingots, emeralds, or diamonds. So you can probably imagine why that's so bad. So just as a pro tip for life, only ever use iron and gold for this, because diamonds and emeralds are infinitely worth more than, iron and gold. So yeah, that's why I'm only using iron and gold in this video, but you can use emerald. You can use emeralds and you can use diamonds in conjunction with that stuff. It's just I definitely recommend sticking to gold and sticking to iron. So anyway, with that said, then so if this is a level 1 beacon, why would I ever want to upgrade to level 2? What really do you gain from upgrading? So like I said, this is 20% upgrade to speed, this is 20% upgrade to haste. As you can probably tell here, as you go to a second layer, and we're going to put the beacon on, it takes a few seconds to register if you're wondering, and there we go. Up to the second layer, we get access to resistance, and we have access to jump boost. So these are actually, they're not amazing, but they're quite cool, because resistance is 20% damage reduction. So if you have full diamond armor on, it's even more reduction, or even if you don't, it's just all mobs to give you 20% less damage, which is always nice. And jump boost gives you extra half heart, jump. So say for instance you have one of these around. Let's put an iron ingot in here. Let's say, for instance, you have one of these around your chicken farm or your sheep farm or something. It actually allows you to jump over the sea, as you can see here. It allows you to jump over fences, which is incredibly cool. Is there a fence nearby I can jump over? There isn't, but you get the basic point. It's incredibly cool by itself, and yeah, that's why level 3 beacons are cool. So also, in addition to just more effect, a level 2 beacon, or 2 layers of beacon, will give 30 blocks worth of effect. So whereas this will only get me 20 blocks away, you'll see just now if I check, even though I'm outside the range of the speed, my jump boost should be actually just about here. My jump boost will keep renewing, but my speed won't, because I'm outside the range of the speed, but not outside the range of the jump boost. So you can probably imagine where the rest of this video is going, because next up is the level 3 beacon. So a level 3 beacon, or 3 layers of beacon, whatever you want to call it. Let's quickly make it now. Of course, has access to even more effects and even more range. So each time, by the way, if I just used this earlier, but each time you want to change the effect, you have to use either a bit of iron, a bit of gold, a bit of diamond, or a bit of emerald. And the same thing as before, if you're going to be using one of these 4 things, you might as well use iron. There's so much of it, and it's quite easy. So with this last level, with this 4th level or 3rd level, you have access to strength, which is 130% damage boost, which is insane. That's 1.3 times the damage, and it will take it'll be the difference between like a 3 hit and a 2 hit, for instance. It's very useful to have if you're going to be killing a lot of stuff. So let's put strength in this beacon, and as you can see, as soon as it takes effect, it'll take a couple of seconds, I'll have the strength thing. So now, because I've got 3 beacons, of course I have all 3 at once. I have jump boost, I have speed, and I have strength. But if I was just around this one, I'd just have strength. So along with just giving me strength and giving me extra powers and stuff, this level of beacon will give you access to 40 blocks of difference. So even if I'm all the way over here, for instance, I'll still be able to fight stuff stronger. And, of course, you know, even if you want to use a level 1 power, it's still useful to use one of these beacons because you get more effect. You might be wondering, Toycat, why is it worth killing the Wither and then going through all of this iron? Like, you've got to imagine, this is hundreds of different pieces of iron and gold. Why is it worth doing all that just for a slight jump boost or just for a slight strength boost? So, the main reason is if you have a house in an area, like you could put resistance on, for instance. If you like have a if you have a sheep farm that's massive and that you just want to be easy with, you can have jump boost, so you can jump over the fences. There's quite a few possibilities, and it's mainly meant for if you're in an area a lot, you might as well buff yourself. That's why they're so difficult, because so you don't just have 50 beacons which all have these massive lights. It's meant to be like a big status symbol. It shows you've killed the Wither. It shows you've gone all these ores from underground, and it's kind of like a showing off thing as well as all of this. So they're not entirely practical, but they are still quite cool. So let's move on to the 4th tier of beacon, shall we? Because you might be wondering, wait a minute, there's only 3 tiers here. So basically, if you make the 4th level of I guess beacon, which by the way takes 1,500 separate pieces of ore. So if you had 1,500 iron bits, then you just about do it. If you had 1,500 diamonds, which is barely possible by the way, you could still just about do it. I'm scared I've got this slightly off. This looks like it's actually slightly rectangular. Let me just quickly check and make sure. So we'll get all the way to the top, then we'll get rid of whatever we don't need. So yeah, as you can see, I've made a slight mistake here. You need to make sure these are exact pyramids. They have to be a 3x3 square, for this max one anyway. It has to be a 3x3 square, on top of 5x5 square, on top of 7x7 square. So let's just quickly remove all of this extra stuff, which is going to be slightly painful, but it's quite easy to do. So as you can see, even though it looks slightly bigger than it is, I finally fixed an issue, and as you can see, this is just how big the beacon is. 1,500 separate bits of ingot is just absolutely insane. So just as a fun fact, so just as we finish doing this, if you don't want your beacon effects, if you run away from your beacon and you're like, oh, I really don't want this. So say I'm over here and I've still got strength, jump boost and speed on me. What I can just do is you can drink a milk bucket, and as long as you're not in the re-range to get more of it done, they will go off you. Exactly why you want beacon effects to go off you is slightly beyond me, but let's say you have jump boost on, you don't want it. That's the only real good example I can think of, but it's a fun fact anyway. Hopefully you enjoy it. So with this done now, and let's, it should just, it instantly does it now. The extra blocks, I guess, were only a help, but I want to show you like a proper version. So this is the final level of beacon. This is the insane level. This is the true show-off thing, because as I said, you have all of this diamond, you have all of this iron, you have all of this emerald, all of this gold, and what you have access to is, first of all of these primary powers. So I can have myself strength if I want to. I can have armor resistance, for instance. I can have any of this thing I want. In addition to that, you get to pick a secondary power. So this secondary power can either be regeneration all the time. So if you want, for instance, you can make it so when you're nearby, you, as well as doing more damage, you regenerate faster. You can make it so when you're nearby, you get resistance and you regenerate faster, like so. And as you can see here, I get both, or as you'll see here in a second, I'll get both regeneration and resistance, which, of course, if this is like at your house, that's an incredible thing to have. You're never going to get healed by anyone. But in addition to that, you can also choose, instead of regeneration, you can pick a second level on your primary power. So instead of, for instance, I have to pull in an ingot here. So instead of, for instance, just picking regeneration and resistance, you can actually pick a second level with any of these 5 powers. So that's incredibly cool because it doubles their effectiveness. So for instance, with resistance 2 gives you 40% protection against attacks. For instance, with strength 2, it's 260% extra damage. That's pretty much a one hit anywhere where you're near the beacon. And basically, they're incredibly rewarding. Beacons are a very cool thing. Of course, a lot of people are like, well, are they worth the time? They're probably not worth the time directly. They take a lot of time, but once you do it, it's just a status symbol. You're like, wow, I did this. I got all that mining, I killed all those withers, and I think it was worth my time. So, yeah, that's the kind of reality behind the beacon. They're a really fun block, they're a really cool endgame thing, but, it's not something you have to do. It's something you can do if you want to add more survival time, and that's something I really admire in it. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video talking about the beacons in depth. If you did, you can like it and let me know. It'd be very much appreciated. It helps out the series and all that sort of stuff. If you want to know more about other Title Update 19 tutorials, I've done a lot. I've been doing a lot of videos recently, so subscribe if you're new and see those. And let me know what you think of the beacons in the comments down below. Do you think they're pointless? Do you think they're over the top? Or do you think that it's a fun way to keep on playing the game once you've finished with it? Yeah, like I said, let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.